Meeting, order to get the roll call at night. This is Jonathan on vacation with Brad over on, and Mr. Wagner says his regrets, but he had to attend required employment meeting tonight, so he won't be able to attend either or attending Zoom. Otherwise, the members are present. So we get like I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before the meeting tonight, the board has an executive session for the purpose of receiving our required annual safety and security report for one personnel matter and to discuss collective bargaining. We will be meeting in executive session following this to discuss two other personnel related matters. And before I go on any further, just because this will be someone's last board meeting down there at the end, so I just want to say, on behalf of myself, and I think the board, thank you for everything you've done. She's retiring at the beginning of July, will not be around for the last full board meeting, she'll be off doing something in retirement, so yeah, thank you for everything you've done for the board. It is getting everything set up for this, absolutely, it's a lot of work. From the early and secret work, it was a lot of work even after the meeting. It's so thank you. We had a lot of people retired. And moving on, that like an approval for the agenda tonight, incorporating and the additions for deletions. The agenda. Thank you, Mr. Blumley, second. Thank you. For any discussion? All those in favor? It carries 7-0. And then next thing for this will be the approval of the minutes for the last regular board meeting held on May 14th, the Education Programs Policy Personnel and Legal Committee meeting held on May 16th, and the minutes of the Buildings and Grounds and Finance meeting held on May 28th. Motion for those, please. Thank you. And thank you, Mr. Barber, and discussion. All those in favor? The motion carries 7-0. And we'll go on with recognitions. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening. Thank you for everyone being here tonight. So tonight, as we are, we just wrapped up our school year in May. We were talking about ways to recognizing our students. One of the things that we thought was important was we have a large number of students in our district who have qualified for an individual athletic event at the state level through the course of their sports career, whether it's in the fall, winter, or spring. And we have individuals, competing at the state level, that then we, to qualify for a state level, competition. And some, not only from the individual standpoint, or a small team, such as like the 4x100 relay, and the 400, or swimming relay, etc. So we thought it'd be great to be able to invite, our student athletes who competed at the state level, here tonight, to not only recognize you, but to thank you for all the time, energy, and effort that you put in, not only to your education, but your learning of your particular sport or sports, because you're doing multi-sport athletes. And we know it's not easy to do that balance, but you do it extremely well. And more importantly, you have shown up on so many occasions and represented not only yourself, but the Hempfield School District with great pride. And we are just so proud of you, and so we wanted to be able to recognize all of our athletes who competed at the state level. So I'm going to go over to the podium there. I know not everybody is here tonight, so we're still going to recognize everybody. We have certificates for our student athletes. So to get started, start with Sophia Carson was the PIAA 3A girls doubles tennis championships. And Sophia was not able to be here today, but Alex is here. So Alex Gregory, for next has the doubles championship. So come on. Alex Gregory. Cooper Lehman is not able to be here tonight. Cooper competed in the boys 3A boys single tennis championships and at the state level placed third. So we'll make sure we get Cooper his certificate. Emerson Long. Okay. Emerson competed in the cross country championships. Congratulations. Also with cross country, Sammy Meyer. Okay. We recognize this next athlete before at board meetings, but we're going to recognize her again, Ella Wolf. Ella did cross country championships at the state level placed fourth, and at the track and field championships for the girls 3200. Grace placed sixth. In the 1600 race, she placed 10th. And she also is not on here, the state championship, I believe. She is the first female runner in Hempfield history to run the mile in less than 5 minutes. Yes. So phenomenal job there for Ella. So we will make sure Ella gets her certificate. Is Brody here? Brody was at the indoor track championships for Cobalt. So congratulations, Brody. Actually, at the indoor track championships, I had a great view of Brody Cobalt. So you know, like tweeting out the photos and photos and people together, Brody over the bar. So great job. We have, I apologize for this name, Eddie, a student. Is Eddie here? He's not here. Eddie was in the track and field championships in the long jump, and at the district championships, Eddie did a phenomenal job in long jump, placing at the districts and qualifying for the states. They did an amazing job jumping. Leah Brennan, actually, we'll call it the next group because they were the girls 4x100 relay at the track and field championships at the state level. Leah Brennan, Izzy Heisey, Talia Lieber, and Maya Thompson. Here. Right down that. Please go ahead, please. Priest made it to the state mixed bowling championships for boys single and placed in 10th state. So we'll make sure we're good. Andrew Gates was not able to be here tonight. No, Andrew was at the swimming championships in the 200 IM relay. It's Kieran here as well. Kieran George. Right, so we'll get Kieran. Kieran was also on the 200 IM. There's Toby. There's some people there. Toby Marco, Toby was the swimming championships, the 200 IM and the 400 relay. Come on up, Toby. We also have Jackson Bruce, Jack, with also the 200 and 400 relays in the swimming championship. So Jack. Jackson Shire. Did I say that right? Jackson swimming championship, the 200 IM and the 200 free relay. Ryan Taylor, it's not able to be here. Ryan was at also swimming championships in the 200 and 400 meter free relays, and then Ivan and Co. here as well. Swimming championships 200 and 400 free relays. So we will make sure we get those tickets. Kyle Dicey. Kyle was at the boys wrestling championships. And JJ, let's see JJ either. So JJ was also at the boys wrestling championships. Seamus Matt. Seamus there. So Seamus at the wrestling championships placed third. And it's happy. So Hattie Mack, for first time girls wrestling at the state level, placed 8th. The state, so is Clementine here? Also, girls, she competed at the state level in the girls wrestling championships, and then Leona also competed in the girls wrestling state championships. So those were all of our individual or very small team relay student athletes from the fall, winter, spring, who not only did well at leagues, also done the districts, but then also competed at the state level and did extremely well. So thank you to all of you. We're really proud of your work, and it's not only again in school and the academics, but also on the field, in the pool, on the court, wherever you perform from an extracurricular standpoint. Thank you for what you do and for how well you represent yourselves. All right. And you're welcome to stay if you'd like. And then also from a team standpoint, competing at the state level, our boys baseball team continues to play extremely well. Last night played Downtown West in the semifinal state game and won 9-7. So they will be competing as a team on Thursday at 4:30 in State College for the championship, 6A championship. So if anyone is interested, we have two opportunities for you to come and cheer on our baseball team. So Thursday at 11:15 in the morning. If you park over at the Franklin Gym area around the baseball field, we're encouraging our community to come out and support our baseball team, and we have a nice send-off plan for them before they head up to State College. And if you are interested in attending the game, there's information on our website and social media, how to purchase tickets, and we'll be at Penn State at 4:30 p.m. From any board members, if you are interested in attending, please let me know by the end of the day tomorrow, so I can get everything arranged for you as well. And again, that game is on Thursday at 4:30. And that's all I have for student presentations, and our student council members are not here to be. Move on.
Thank you. Moving on to, public comment. Board provides time for public comment for residents and taxpayers to bring their thoughts to the board, but it's not a time for exchange between the board administration and speaker. We ask that the speakers refrain from identifying specific students, staff, or community members by name. Residents and taxpayers who are interested in making public comments must complete the electronic registration form prior to 3 p.m. on the day of the meeting. And I believe we have 3 requests to address the board this evening.
That's correct. Our first speaker is Caleb Best, who will be followed by Hayden Petrasic.
Good evening. I thought I'd try something a little different this time. I brought a friend to address the board. This is Nuts the Squirrel. Nuts the Squirrel was given to my older son by his kindergarten teacher for his birthday 3.5 years ago. In those 3.5 years, Nuts has traveled the country with us as we've gone on family vacations. He has done adventures throughout the house and neighborhood. Pretty much everywhere my son goes, Nuts goes with him. Except for school. Nuts goes to his own school, Acorn Elementary, which is apparently loosely affiliated with Medford School District. So they actually make the school on the same day of the week. In addition to the close relationship my son had with his kindergarten teacher, in 2nd grade, he had a good relationship with his teacher, and he now still has a picture of him and his teacher on his wall in his bedroom. I was lucky enough to go with them on their 2nd grade field trip to Zoo America, and I thought it was a wonderful program presented by the teachers. For my other child, in kindergarten, he had a long-term sub. Who we at some point were bemoaning that sub would leave because we loved her so much, and it ended up that she stayed the entire year. So it was a very, very long-term sub, and we were so thrilled that we got to keep her the entire year. Ironically, the next year, we also had a long-term sub start the year, but she only stayed for the first 1.5 trimesters. But we have loved getting to know the teachers of this district. We have loved how well they have worked with our students, with my students and the students in our neighborhood. So with that, I'm asking that whoever is part of the negotiating committee, I'm not sure which of the 9 are on there, keep those things in mind when you're negotiating with teachers, because they add so much value to this community. Remember that schools really form the heart of this community. The sports, the athletes that we get recognized build a huge part of this community. They are led by coaches, they are taught by teachers. This district is pivotal to those in the community. As part of that, teachers are pivotal in a core part of this community. Without teachers, we don't have schools. So really, we need to focus on what they need. Some teachers have left the district for various reasons. If they're finding better opportunities elsewhere, the questions we need to ask ourselves are, what is better somewhere else than Enfield? Why is Enfield not the district that all teachers want to teach in? It's not just money, it's not just this, it's the whole package. And we should be trying to find out how we can not just recruit, but retain good, stellar employees and then have not leaving for other opportunities. Unfortunately, teaching as a whole, has not been a well-regarded career. Finding teachers, as you all know, especially the administration, is a hard, difficult task. So we should be doing everything we can so that teachers are able to come to the district, learn, grow, continue to be the best teachers that they can be. And that they can then help the next generation of teachers as they leave school. Because that kind of partnership is what's needed for any employment. I deal with that in my department. I'm a manager of an engineering group, and as I hire recent grads, I need to partner them with good senior engineers. The same thing is needed for teaching. I'm somewhat concerned that the district is going to be passing a budget tonight, most likely, considering that the teacher contract is not finalized. I hope that doesn't mean that the teachers are going to be fine. So thank you for your time.
Our next speaker is Hayden Petrasic, followed by Dr. Kathy Furman.
Hello, I'm Hayden Petrasic. I'm a straight honors student here at high school, and I'm going to have an issue with the way new enrollment is handled, specifically regarding new enrollment classes taken in the summer. I wanted to pretty much since ninth grade year, I kind of looked at the classes and I've seen so many things I'm interested in. I was like, I can't get this all 32 credits. So with that in mind, I decided I want to take some classes over the summer, one of them being new enrollment. My guidance counselor at the time assured me that it would be fine, that I would be able to have that credit, and it would not put it back at the end, so to be able to have credit. Unfortunately, coming into this year, we realized that's not the actual rule, and the rule states that you have to, if you get going all the classes over the summer, it has to be placed in your years. Specifically, like full credit wherever, so you can't even like mix it around, you can even get easier ways to handle other classes. So if you take it from one class over the summer, you just have a full credit in your school year where you are doing absolutely. You are just at the school for no reason. I would like to be able to take classes during this time and be able to enhance my learning, take all these courses I'm interested in. And our way to do that was just getting a hall pass down there every single time. But at that point, why don't I just get enrolled in the class? If I have that period, I'm failing to understand why the rule is that you're not allowed to take up a class. And it might make sense like, oh, you have to take classes in high school because you're in high school, but we have other classes to take place. So if you're allowed to take stuff like health, TFL, FFL, where you're allowed to take those over the summer and not at the normal class, if they're handled as both like equal credits during the school year, why are they not handled like that if we do it over the summer? I have also other friends who had similar issues. I have one friend who's taking, I think, 3 1 classes this summer just for college, but he can't have any of those in his schedule. So he doesn't get those credits even though he's taking the classes through 1 programs. That's just an issue I've come into, and I would like to be able to take all the classes. I'm really interested in all of these guys offer here, but because of the way the loans currently handled, I will not be able to have the opportunity to take all the things I want to do. That is it. Thank you.
Our final speaker is Dr. Kathy Furman.
Good evening, Dr. Pat Furman, Westonfield Township. Thank you for allowing me to address the board tonight. My husband's family, father, uncles, aunt, brother, sister, nieces, nephews, and our children are all proud graduates of the Enfield School District. 70+ year of the Furmans in Enfield. Our 3 sons graduated in 2009, 2012, and 2018. As an educator of 30 years, I will tell you that the success of our family the success of our three sons is not due to the name of Hempfield. It is not the buildings, the facilities, or the furniture, or the supplies. Their success is 100% due to the teachers, advisors, coaches, and staff that have been and continue to serve the Hempfield School District. The boots on the ground teachers in the classroom, the counselors in their offices, the support staff at their desks or in the classroom, the maintenance and food services staff in the buildings, and the bus drivers on the road. They serve the students, the families, and the community here in Hempfield. I say serve because that is what it is when you work and teach in a school district. In the 23 years that my three sons were being educated at Hempfield, the teachers supported my children both in the classroom and outside the classroom. Even if I was permitted, I couldn't name all of them in my time tonight. But there are so many that had an impact on them and helped them be who they are today. They know who they are. Thank you for watching over my kids. The teachers taught my sons not just content, not just skills, but taught them critical thinking, kindness, empathy, how to seek to understand, how to be respectful of others, how to laugh, how to be creative, how to dream and set goals, and how to dig deep to pull the very best of themselves out so that they could accomplish anything that they set their mind to. Their teacher advisors guided them in their pursuits of civic duty, whether it was childhood cancer, student government, or other community work. Their athletic coaches, at that time, almost every single coach was a teacher here at Hempfield. They taught them not just the skill of their sports, but how to win, how to lose, how to be a team player, and how to have grit and perseverance and never ever give up no matter the score. All of these educators were there for my children for 23 years, for the high points of their lives growing up and for the rough times as well. I say all this because the teachers here at Hempfield, in the past and the current teachers, they are more than just one person who spends time with the students at Hempfield in 180 school days a year, more time with the students than their own families. They are more than just a salary number on a scale or a line item in the budget. These teachers are professional, dedicated, skilled educators who serve this community and the families in the community. They serve because they care about the students, about this community, about ensuring that these students can and will succeed. They are dedicated to making sure that every student has the opportunity, not just to learn the academics, but to learn and grow to be successful, healthy, happy, contributing citizens in a world that will continue to change. They do not waver from this goal ever. I am so thankful for what the amazing Hempfield teachers have done for my sons, all three who are successful, healthy, happy, contributing citizens. But I am even more grateful for the teachers' time, their commitment, dedication, their passion, their grit and perseverance to continue to serve the school community. And I am thankful for the current Hempfield teachers today who continue to dedicate their career to making this all happen for all students, every single one of them, every single day. For this, Hempfield teachers deserve to be valued, deserve to be respected, deserve to be recognized for all that they do for every student, every single day. Please consider each one of these professional teachers and the impact that they have on each and every student as you make decisions about the teacher's contract. Those decisions will impact the future, not just of Hempfield, but far beyond our community. Thank you.
Thank you to everyone who spoke and went for that for the superintendent's report.
Thank you. Since our last meeting, we did wrap up the school year with a wonderful end to our school year. On the end of May, we held graduation in our stadium. It was a wonderful event, and I want to thank all the board members because all 9 weeks were there, present and supporting our students in their graduation experience. I also want to extend my thanks to you because you already give up a lot of time as a volunteer in your role as a board member and then you stayed longer at graduation to help hand out diplomas to the students afterwards. And I know that was a great experience for you, and I just thank you for giving that extra time, to do that, to support our students at graduation. Planning for the upcoming school year, the 24-25 school year has already begun. And one thing that I do want to share, and we are well underway with regards to staffing. On the personnel report tonight, you see some of those recommendations, but we are in really great shape from a contracted position standpoint. And our HR team, our principals, others, working on the support side, whether food services, educators, building aids, et cetera, and they'll be moving to focusing on those positions. Because we've done a great job being able to really fill a lot of positions that we had open. So we'll be heading into that for the next several months. Also on the agenda, you will see the approval that you have done annually, which gives the permission to confer offers of employment for individuals for those contracted positions. So that they can hopefully get a jump start because in Pennsylvania, there's likely will be held for 60 days. So as we get closer in the summer, we want to make sure we can commit and really get those individuals in front of our kids from day one. So anything new that is not budgeted, that solely funds primarily at the elementary with regards to enrollment, as Dr. Davis is monitoring that through the next several months. We will come to you before anything is done if enrollments spike in individual buildings where we may need to add an additional section. So that offer on the agenda, we're not making that offer to an individual, it's not like anything to do. So I just want to clarify that for our board members. And with that will let you know.
You questions for Pete? Moving on, president report that you have taken to read, the Hempfield School Board continues to negotiate with the Hempfield Education Association to reach an agreement on a new contract. The Hempfield School Board is willing to meet for some months to negotiate. We provided the Hempfield Education Association with several days to continue negotiations during this holiday. Our goal continues to be to provide a fair and equitable contract for professional staff while maintaining our ability to properly compensate and retain our support staff, address the needs of our district facilities, and maintain the educational programs and buildings going forward. And that concludes the president's reports, all other represented in adjunct reports by Mr. Kruger, Technology Center, Mr. Keeler.
Thank you, Mr. Donato. The Joint Operating Committee met on May 23rd at the Mount Joy campus. It was a routine meeting in all respects. The next meeting will be June 27th at Willow Street.
Thank you. Are you routine, Mr. Mel?
I did not attend the last meeting because of the same deal with graduations, our administrator and you went out to get the data.
Okay. All right, we'll work on that for next year. Thank you, Mr. Harris. Hempfield and President Brady.
I'm gonna go with the same answer as Mr. Maris. I was not able to attend that meeting, nor was Mr. Wagner, because of the same meetings and no graduation.
Yeah, that sort of like go really quick. Safety and security, Mr. Barber.
We had obviously our annual safety security update for the board tonight, highlighting a lot of stuff what the board's doing, Mr. Gleason is doing for the safety security, so we're above everybody else in the district and region, and so he's doing a good job.
Thank you, PSBA, Mr. Benjamin.
I do have something in the report, Mr. Baldwin had asked me to look in the PSBA stands not to be a PSC report. I talked to Andy Preston at PSBA, who's happy to hear from Hempfield School District, and he worked extensively under doing the policy manual years ago, so it was kind of nice. I asked him his perspective, and he led us to some statements PSBA has already made, including being fully supportive of both the minority and minority reports, but what those reports had in common, things like reducing the volatility of the basic education funding formula, resetting the basic education funding increase, using 3-year averages in some of the data, with community out that we can talk about. And unfortunately, those recommendations were what we cut from the resolution that we crafted, or that the administration crafted and then the board eventually approved. So I kind of just wanted to put that out there, that was stuff that people agreed on and we didn't, you know, I wish we would have come a little stronger than that. He also brought up House Bill 2370, which I read locally was passed out of the House. Unfortunately, without the support of some of our local representatives, I've been busy going to local representatives, kind of trying to garner support on behalf of kind of the taxpayers, and residents to lessen the burden of local property taxes. So we're fortunate that we didn't get that local support, but the good news is it didn't move out of the House. With the votes it needed, it's moving to the Senate. So I also talked to our local representative there, and I hope we know we adequately, and I would be on public schools in Pennsylvania. It's a constitutional duty. So that's my report. Sorry, mine was a little longer.
Any questions?
Yeah, one of the questions was, what did they actually do? That was really my initial question. What did PSBA do? I know we passed a resolution, but what have they done other than make a few statements? I mean, I'm not trying to be facetious, but
No. And the information he led me to gave information on how, as board members and community members, how you could garner support, advocate, talk to your local representatives on those topics and how it would benefit. You know, it didn't go into details about local school districts because they don't think they represent the state. A big thing we talked about was in that bill, that House Bill 2370, the cyber charter reform, that they worked tirelessly, like, on the legislative level, to get some movement on that, and get, you know, bipartisan support for that, knowing that that's something that really affects everyone in the state. So I was really happy to hear that bill being moved and that was such a big part of it, and people coming together on that was a good thing. You know, I wish more could come together on the other parts of it, but I was really glad to hear that they're advocating for all of the schools across the state of Mass specifically, because we hear that brought up all the time. And Mr. Burgess talks about that a lot.
Yeah, and just to build on that, with the House Bill 2370, this session we talked about, there is language in there that does stipulate that the $8,000 statewide consistent tuition rate for students going to cyber charter is what was written into that bill as a starting point. So that is a good thing that did make it in. The other thing that I just heard from yesterday, at the legislative meeting I was at, was that there's, in a sense, a good sign that House Bill 2370, recognizing that there's going to be changes to it, but it is the first step in movement towards establishing the fiscal code, which will ultimately then get to a budget. So at least that has started. And Ms. Sutton, I'm not sure if you heard this or not, repeat your conversation with the PSBA, but in my meeting yesterday, they talked about the adequacy gap dollars, and the way at this point, if I understand it correctly, what was written into the legislation, there's kind of some options, even if it doesn't go full-fledged as to how it's written.
Different language.
Where the first step is resetting the base, which there does seem to be consistency between the majority and minority report on that, which is good, because that would be for this past school year to become the new base. The second piece in there would be the adequacy gap. But what I heard in my conversations yesterday was that the new dollars for the adequacy gap would be required to be spent on programs that are proven to improve student success. So I'm in the process of kind of digging around like some of the information that I have today as to what that might look like, and then trying to think through, and then I'll be in a conversation with Paul from a budget standpoint, what that would look like if that did go into play for us. And then the third layer of that would be the tax equity payments. But what was not in the bill, which was initially talked about, was an additional 200 million in terms of additional dollars for schools in general. And the concern about that not being included is there are districts that would not get anything from an adequacy gap standpoint and or a tax equity standpoint, so they essentially be losing. So there's still discussions in Harrisburg as to what this ultimately will look like. But there's a lot of action going on this week. Next week, there will be individual smaller conversations, is what I heard. And then last week in June, there's going to be, what I'm understanding, to be kind of a full-fledged, effort to try and get something done.
Yeah, we keep talking a lot about the language being there, which is like kind of a first step, and having that all there ready to go was great as it goes through like Senate appropriation, and all that.
You have a question? Okay, moving on, Danny's building ground. Yes, we met in the end of May, had a feasibility study update from Mr. James, talking about projects currently underway for the summer. Information regarding immediate needs and costs prepared as LPC, LMS, and CMS. Next steps are discuss the schedule for new projects by the board, and also discuss procurement methods that could be deployed. Presentation was attached, and then board briefly discussed future plans and repairs. Mr. James also noted that the soil surrounding oil tanks that were removed were received, and there was no contamination, which saved us $136,000, which was good. Paging system update, Mr. Graham provided updated information on public announcement systems at Humboldt High School, and Edison Primary, Secondary, and Middle School. I think we're going to vote on that tonight. Okay. And then for the LPC and LMS, I think we're going to deliberate that some more moving into the next year. We also talked about our Gago pit for Center Elementary School. Made by a PTO donation to cover the Gago pit, and that will be on the agenda tonight. And as well as sheds on Mr. property, we had some discussion on that. He was noted that I think the decision was that we create a document with details on specifics regarding items that can be stored in sheds, size, and locations. And there were no action items, but later I believe we're going to talk about the architect RFP, which Mr. James and Mrs. Hall will lead, and the universal chime in. Slide back. I do have one question. This is in fact a resolution, I believe, so we can apply for the grant for the moving for LMS and LPC. I guess my one question is, assuming we get the grant, or even if we don't, if we replace the roof, we consider one of the things is the heating and air conditioning system, the HVAC system needs updated on most of the facilities, like the roof, the all with it. I guess my point is replacing the roof now, which obviously we need to do that without replacing the HVAC system. It's sort of to me like when they pave the road and then some utility comes a year later and digs it back up again to replace all the pipes and stuff. To me, putting a new roof on and then coming back a year later and saying, okay, now we're going to upgrade the HVAC system. It seems to make sense to do both of those things simultaneously. So I guess my question is, I believe at least generally in the thing that the data that presented back in March or April, obviously there. I would like to see a change that is one wholly project, replace the roof, and also do both of those PHDA systems at the same time, simply because for me, yeah, why put on the new roof and then tear it up to put in new whatever, even if I want to do we both of the buildings, the majority of the units are on the roof. So I guess could we get to the building to ground the productivity, we could have to do that.
I just wanted to comment, I think that last video was conversation and confusion around moving forward with high school versus all of the other priority items in the other buildings. I'm going to go back and look, and February meeting is where we distinctly said everything we have put out that it's parallel tracks, not one and then the other. So that's where we need to reference it as February meeting.
And I'll just one, and I assume we remember too, not just the building, the old, but the college or river elementary school, hockey, there's water, there's where, that, you know, these are things, but then for letting water into the building, and we're not on track to fix those, that doesn't make it seem like good use of the building, it's gonna cause more damage in the long run, but these are things who bring this great young. And thinking about that meeting, it was presented as the high school was the track and doing the other repairs for a separate track, which is where the money borrowed was to go to, and then we were gonna get more information, decide what to do about high school and figure out how to financially pay for that.
I guess my question is, are they more independent? You're saying that they're related. I don't know that they have to be done at the same time. I don't know.
Well, that's a question I would like to answer, because I mean,
We could certainly talk to Dave.
I think there's a further discussion for our facilities committee next time. I think we could spend countless hours of this meeting on this topic, and this is really a continuation. No decisions have been made around that from what I took away from those meetings.
other than we're gonna try to do the resolution to get.
Yeah, and the resolution and the grant that we approved came under finance, and we did approve that. So yes, you're correct, but that money hasn't been allocated for anything.
The 50 path piece was the high school on one just because of the size and scope of dollars, and then the rest of the buildings, campus, facilities, et cetera. Whereas James, Paul, the team will work with today to really identify those urgent priorities that we need to address. And so that's where, again, we come back and say, here's what those are, that piece of building around, we can do it at the end of this month. That here's what we need to focus on, in these buildings, and then we're starting potentially another process that's a lot.
And that
I think
February
they
document.
were, I think they were the ones, if I recall, the ones and the twos that are gonna, along with the high school building, those improvements, will have to decide out, there's lots of money.
Okay, any other questions for Billy around? Moving on to finance, is our retention point.
Yeah, you're so much under, no, we did have a budget update from Mrs. Hall tonight. We had the adoption of the final budget on the agenda. We also discussed a number of contracts, a few questions were asked, and there were really no major concerns, those contracts there on the agenda for approval. And then last but not least, we did approve the public school facilities improvement grant. It was actually an authorization for the official resolution to be completed. And that was for $3.54 million. We get that, and that's not guaranteed at this point, but we move forward in seeking that. And that concludes my report.
Questions? The education programs, Mr. Johnson, is out here with Barbara. I have to call, if you'd like me to.
Yeah, you go for our,
Yeah, I could not remember with that. We did during this part of receiving an update from Mrs. Nicely and Mr. about the pathways to graduation, which they kids currently have to complete in some way, shape, or form, which I believe for almost all of our first graduating class did 100%, which was great. With it, and I think I was said with this is a big part of the education. That is all we discussed. So we'll move on then, let's see questions, policy.
Thank you, Mr. Donato. The Policy Personnel and Legal Committee met on May 16th. You will see there are 5 policies for first reading consideration and 1 policy for second reading consideration. I'm going to briefly summarize the first reading policies because they relate to vaping in our buildings, and I want to make sure everyone understands what these policies do when taken as a whole. In essence, what they do is say a vape is a vape. It doesn't matter what's in the vape, what the purpose of using the vape is for. If you have a vape, you are subject to these policies, regardless of whether it contains an inert substance or a hard Schedule I drug. We are getting out of the testing business. It's just a vape is a vape. If a student has a vape for the first offense, they will be subject to a 3-day suspension. A second offense will be subject to a 10-day suspension, and a third offense will be subject to a 10-day suspension plus a recommendation to the board for expulsion. That said, when counting the number of offenses, the administration will consider the current semester, i.e. the semester in which the offense occurs, and any offenses that occurred in that semester or the preceding one. So there's a look back, but there's not a look back for the student's entire academic career. There also was a modification to the district surveillance policy, which makes clear that we have a variety of mechanisms in our buildings to detect the use of a variety of substances, including vaping products, and to make clear that those are permissible uses of our facilities and are in compliance with our policies. I will say that this was a very helpful policy development process. The high school administration was very helpful. The student council was very helpful, and the board is grateful for the expertise that both of them provided. That's mainly it. That's sort of a summary of those policies. I'm happy to answer any questions that anyone may have. Otherwise, the next policy meeting will be next Thursday, June 20th.
Question? Okay. Moving on, then to our action item. First one is personnel action items, need approval to approve personnel action items 9B numbers 1 through 10. And so, yes, the administrative authorization to allow those people to approve whatever is needed to get school started. So, the motion to approve those, please. Thank you, Mr. Beckman. Second. Thank you, Ms. Brady. Any questions, discussion? Okay, all those in favor? Okay, the motion carries 7-0. Next will be going to go on to the budget. Part of the financial action items. The first one is to approve resolution to approve items B through D, which is the final budget resolution, the tax levy resolution, and the homestead requirement. Including resolution. The motion to approve those. Thank you, Mr. Walker.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion?
In approving this, we would be approving all of them as.
Correct. Any questions? Okay, all those in favor? Any opposed? Carries 5. All right, moving on to approve the rest of the financial action items that's through P, which is contracts and financial reports for the district and for food service, year-end report, cooperative purchasing agreement, and deals on things, donations, support staff contribution, compensation, not contribution, compensation, student meal prices, and adult prices. We have there.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? those in favor? Motion carries 7-0. The board members then going to ground. Discussion, yes. Now we're discussing the. Architecture. All.
So, the district is engaged in the, RFP process to secure an architect for our basement project. I'll just walk through the process and then we'll go to give their feedback. We sent an RFP out on March 27th, it's open in 2 weeks. We have multiple firms come in and check out space in order to, submit their proposal. We received responses from 11 different firms, which, Ms. James and I spent the better part of the day, evaluating against each other, against the criteria that were set in the RFP. We whittled that number down to 5 firms that came in for interviews with the Buildings and Grounds Committee, as well as Mr. Moore's meetings, James and myself. From those interviews, we narrowed it down to 2 finalists. And we went and toured buildings and different projects with them to get a feel for their work. From there, we conducted references to get some feedback on, from their clients on how they work with, timeliness, able to stay in budget, all of those things. We met back together last Wednesday to review all of that. And we are ready to bring forward the recommendation to hire the PCBA as our architect for our basement project. Mr. Mayor, would you like to talk?
Yeah, I want to compliment Mrs. James and Mrs. Hall. Very thorough job, and the committee. This was a long process, but I think we came up with the best firm for what we're looking at. Basically, the visits were especially helpful, visits of different projects. We had a whole committee, and Mrs. Hall, Mrs. James, unfortunately, Mr. Mercy was sick, so he couldn't be there. That was very enlightening. We had some additional meetings, referral checks, they checked a bunch of referrals. I think KCBA is definitely going to be, it was a unanimous decision when we all sat down and went through all the different information. Again, KCBA has a lot of experience, a lot of innovative ideas. They have a gentleman by the name of Mike Kelly, who's well known in the state as an educational architect. I think overall we made a good decision. So moving forward, we want to approve this tonight. I'm sorry.
No, we just want to discuss it tonight, and it'll be on the finance committee.
Okay. Okay, and then as soon as we approve that, they're gonna hopefully come back July for kickoff meeting, which involve the whole board, administration, and principals. We'll get started on this whole process. So, Mr. Brady, Mr. Walkenmuth, Lynn's not here. Do you want to add anything to that? My comments.
I think we talked enough about it. I'm sure I didn't miss anything. I didn't already know.
I'm sorry, what is the name of this firm?
KCBA.
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 What, I'm not familiar with that. What are some of their other projects?
But yeah.
They don't have Monroe High School, they have projects in downtown, east and west, in Monroe High School. Penn Valley. Yeah, they have significant amount of K-12 experience, and particularly secondary experience, which was a little bit lagging for some of the other firms. So their experience with secondary buildings, is what pushed them in that.
Thank you.
I found it to be very enjoyable process. It was very interesting and thought provoking, and at the end of the day, it was really nice to all come together and find what's good.
And as well as with Mr. Johnson, what we should put in the meeting, she said, 100% support the up or not.
It was a very deliberate, it was a very time. I think we came up with the right feelings, and I think they're going to be able to help us in the next days.
And this is before like we reflected, like, since we all that middle school together, I wasn't part of it. The building, a high school building.
What was the question?
Remember the middle school we went to?
Oh, yes, yes, well, I think Allen Grove was a really good thing for the work, but it wasn't just that, it was talking with people. We talked with their superintendent at length, The reference checks, again, Mrs. Holmes, James spent a lot of time on this, and I think time well spent, so I think we came up with the best firm for what we're going to be doing.
Maybe I will add one comment. As I went through this process, I actually started at one place and ended up somewhere else. And so I have to thank Charles for twisting my arm, spending a day out in the schools. And I would also suggest that we couldn't have gone wrong with either firm that we looked at in the final two. They were both excellent firms. And honestly, if we landed in one place or the other, we would have been okay. So now the hard work, so, but yeah, I'm grateful that we did take the time to go work at school districts and spend some time with those firms, but they're both quality.
I want to say thank you to the committee and select the administration. I feel like the same way when we did the educational stuff last year, like working together as a community and taking the time, spending the time for doing work is really worth the effort. So thank you guys for doing
And this will be brought up.
Now we're going to change the finance team.
Okay, moving on, other action items, need a motion to approve. Other action items, B through A, which is the reading first and second, board policies, additional transportation staff for SBA, self donated proposals of items, approval of the assistant board secretary, the compliance officer, the inspection officer, like certain county tax bureau person, and employee healthcare.
So moved.
Thank you. Patrick?
Second.
Thank you. Either is one second, and discussion. Okay, all those in favor? Motion carries 7-0. Next, I need a motion to adjourn into a second session to discuss two personnel items.
So moved.
Thank you. There is a second. Thank you. Second, all those in favor? Hey, motion carries 7-0 for adjourn. Thank you.